place and I was like, how's this all working for me? Oh, right. Let's go again, guys. I'm just got to get me chair already, me computer. Are we going straight full on? May as well, because it's fucking set up that way. So whatever. Record, don't record. Let me read this again. Take 2. Welcome to the I Am That Content Creator podcast. We're cutting through the noise to show you exactly how to create scroll-stopping content, land premium brand deals, and build a thriving online business. No BS, just proven strategies that help you scale. We nailed it. We hit record. Are we good to go, Mia?
Kristen forgot to record before and we're just chatting away, doing the intro. It happens.
It just happens regularly here. We're just so used to communicating via the screens that we don't always record this stuff, but that's okay.
We're there now.
So, Mia, what's crack-a-lackin'?
I don't know. We were just saying before when you weren't recording that feels like we haven't done a podcast for a while because we batched a whole heap before school holidays and we took a few weeks off.
Yep.
So we're back in the seat.
Yes, we've got some discussions to have. We've got some interviews that'll be coming up. We've just, plan, replan, doing all the things. But today we have a little topic that I believe me found an article that we thought was really interesting and something that you may not know you're doing, but it's part of how you can become a good content creator even. So do you want to let everyone know the little article that you found so they can strap in and we'll discuss it, I reckon?
Yes, and as I go through this, just think, when was the last time you were at the school pickup, schoolyard chatter with the mum friends, and you've said to another mum or a friend or your mum or whoever that you recommended something that you're using currently and you love?
Constantly. Literally constantly always do it. I'm like a fucking broken record. And if I like something, I'm going to tell you about it. Even if you didn't ask, you give 0 fucks, I will tell you about it.
Yeah. My mum's the same. She called me the other day and she's like, "Oh, Mia, have you tried Lululemon?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, they're just too expensive. Like, I've got a few Lorna Jane things." She's like, "Oh, my God, they're so good. The quality." And she just went on and on and on and on. And I'm like, "Mum, you should be a Lululemon ambassador the way you're talking about
If you haven't tried Lululemon, now I'm going to sprout and do exactly what we're about to talk about. Because when it comes to Lululemon, let me tell you, they're expensive. But it is like the money. I have Lululemon pants that I've bought for years. They're the only pants that suit certainly my figure. Like, just because I hate it when they bunch up around your fanny, and
she's like it's got, so you don't have a camel toe. They've got like a seamless little.
It's so good. I had a girlfriend that worked at Lululemon, and they've got like this incredible policy, which, you know what, if they're listening, sponsor us. But also, if they're listening, they don't want me to tell you, I'm about to tell you that they've got a lifetime warranty. So if you take them back, you're like, I've got a hole because I grind between my thighs, baby. And so there's always like, what happens is I get holes like where my thighs are. Wow. And so I take them back and they're like, yep, no worries, swap them over. I'm like, bam.
A whole new pair.
A whole new pair.
Because I ruin clothes. I chuck everything in the dryer. And I have noticed my Lorna Jane leggings, they haven't been too bad after I've chucked them in the dryer, but it's good to know about. And you don't mind paying more if they're going to last. And they got a lot.
That's like the only reason why. Like, my girlfriend who worked there, she got me into them because I was the same. I was like, I'm not paying $120 for a pair of like athleisure wear. And then I got them and then I did my half marathon in them. And then I was like, never again will I ever buy anything but Lululemon, especially the pant version. Like, amazing. Like, I'm here for cheaper tops. I've got some of their tops, which are incredible. But when it comes to pants, I'm all in. So in case you weren't wondering, this is what we're talking about.
And this is the thing. You have conversations with people about products. And I saw on TikTok because I was looking out for them after Mum said, because apparently they're having a sale this week. And they do dresses and skirts and all this stuff. So this is what we're talking about. You find something you love and you share it with someone without even knowing about it. And that is UGC. Mm-hmm. So I'll read you something that I saw on this little article here from Mumbrella. And so they have revealed a major shift in how brand trust is happening in 2025. And every brand targeting families needs to know this. So one of the key stats was 6 out of 10 mums are organically promoting the brand they love online, whether that be Facebook groups or Instagram stories, WhatsApp chats in there with your mums. And it's just like this genuine word of mouth. and brands aren't really capitalizing on that. So this is where UGC comes into it all, and it's so bloody amazing. And you think of all these mums that are recommending things to their friends, they could be getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So, and if you're already posting to your stories and, whatnot, why not make a job out of it? Even if it's just for a bit of side cash or whatnot, or a full-time career like a lot of our creators turn it into. It's just this, like, you're going to trust one of your mum friends telling you something about it rather than a highly produced ad that you see on your Facebook feed.
Yeah.
So think of a time that you've recommended something to someone face-to-face or on your socials, and just think, wow, brands pay everyday people to do this.
Yeah. And it's also one of those things that I think some brands are really good at it. Some are really slow to the party when it comes to benefiting off the back of this. Like, I think I don't know the stats, we should have looked it up. But I think like the age group of, say, your mum, so let's just call us 30s to 60s, 70s, whatever. We're the ones that are the biggest spenders. Like, we have the purse strings, we make the decisions, we are the ones that decide usually where there's money spent. Like, in our household, I know my husband, obviously he has a lot of say over things too, but like his decisions are like, we just bought a tractor. I'm like, did we? Okay, that's great. Where my decisions are like the food, the bills, what the kids are wearing, what they're eating, where they're shopping, what I'm buying. Like, I do the micro, if you want to call it, even though they're probably much bigger than that, decisions around those things. So we have the greatest pull. So if we're communicating in a way that is truly authentic, and this is the part that if brands understand the power of this true authenticity, and if your UGC especially can leverage this true authenticity, that is where you're going to flourish. Because, recently with what we've been doing, Mia, I've been doing some online scrolling around UGC and creators and just trying to kind of get, I don't know, in the vibe, whatever you want to call it. And I'm very put off by the over-polished, over-scripted videos. I always have been. As somebody that's in brand and marketing that's been in it for, over 10 years, I've always looked for, how do you look outside that box? How do you push a boundary? And I think, we had a conversation before that we'll share with you around, don't ever be afraid as a creator to push back on a brand if you use their product differently and you see a different way of using it, you see a different way of scripting it, you see a different way that you could share that you would share in your mum chat, in your friends group when you go out to dinner, that you would authentically, richly share that content. Push back on a brand, because a brand, they've got their marketing team, they've got their strategies, they've got everything in their place there. The Q1s they've got to hit, they've got their KPIs, they have all of that. But in that comes a lot of structure and a lot of strategy, which is great. But it also means that they're quite rigid in terms of, well, that ad worked last time, copy paste, do that again. I want you to say this. These are the benefits. This is what we need to sell. Where all of a sudden you could turn around, and I did a TikTok about this the other day, about my Merry People boots. So the only way I found out about Merry People boots, which is, if you haven't seen them, they're amazing.
I'm talking about them.
They're incredible. They're rubber boots, but they're in color. It's Australian made. They're beautiful. The only way I found out about them was my best friend sent me a link that was like, obviously you'd be buying these. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Pink gum boots.
Ones.
Did not even have to think twice. Bought them instantly. And then I walked through the schoolyard and all these mums like, oh my God, Chris, those boots, were they from? And since that moment, like whenever I bought them 2 years ago, the schoolyard is full of Merry People. Now, I obviously didn't make the schoolyard full of them, but I know at least 10 or 20 mums that bought them because they saw them on me and even said, oh my God, I bought them because like I just love seeing them on you.
And then my mum told me about them too. And it wasn't because I saw an ad or because I saw them on Instagram. It's because mum's like, look at these cool boots.
Yeah.
We both got pairs now. And this is a good thing. Like, there's lots of talk about AI now and AI generated avatars and AI generated ads. I can see it now. People are going to get jack of it because it's not genuine. It's the brands creating an ad, saying what they want to say. It's not a genuine person. It's not a real person. So I think people are going to really, really need that authentic connection with another human to trust what they're saying, to go and buy that product. So yes, there's going to be a big wave of these AI generated ads. And with Google Gemini's launch of their VO3, I don't know if you've seen that yet, but you can't tell that it's AI. There are some, I don't know what it's called. There's a thing that, you can tell there's like it's not a watermark that you can see, but there's something that you can tell that it's AI generated. But I really hope that the government and Facebook and all this make you tag an AI generated ad as AI generated, so you know that it's not real. So people are going to see that and they're going to be like, that's fake. That's not a genuine person. That's not a genuine reaction. That's not a genuine opinion. So I think UGC is pretty safe in that regard, and people are going to want that more. Hearing from another mum who's just like me on the internet saying, I fucking love this thing.
So, and the other thing I think is really important, and from a brand point of view, but also you as a UGC creator, brands need to be less scared of potential negative feedback that's created in an ad or a conversation. Like if I'm talking to my mum friends and I'm telling them about a brand that I use, that I love, I'll usually say, look, it's really good. Look, it's not that expensive, but it's not the cheapest. Like I'll give them that truth with them. Like if I don't like the product, I'm not going to share it, but then I'm not going to do UGC for that brand. So I'm talking a brand that you truly believe in. I'm going to give a little bit of positive, negative, little sandwich it, because that's true and authentic. So I think the other thing that I noticed certainly when I was in working with certain businesses is they would really push back on any negative, any kind of inkling that it's not perfection and 100% and they've got to have it. Like anything that you went, yeah, but hang on, what about? They'd be like, no, it's got to say it's perfect in every possible way. I call bullshit, because nothing's perfect. And if I see somebody telling me, I use this skincare, it's fantastic. It's not the cheapest on the market, but it's been amazing. But I use this one and this one because I don't really like the 4-step process. I like the 3. I'm still potentially going to buy the 4-step process because I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try it. So I think we need to be really aware of that as people in small business. If you're listening to this and you have a small business, it's okay if your marketing and your UGC has a little bit of pushback, because that is what creates that authenticity. And that is what kind of pulls back the cover and goes, oh, it's not bullshit. Okay, I'm going to put my money in there because you've been brave enough to say, all right, let's give it a shot. So I think that's why we say push back if you're a UGC creator as well, and give a brand a solution. Don't just push back and be like, I'm not going to do it your way, do it my way. Push back and be like, have you tried this? This is how I use your product.
Let's think about getting inside the customer's head.
And
yeah, you're right. And I'll have to go and find it. 3 years ago when I was starting UGC, I remember this very clearly. I made a TikTok about all this UGC coming out that just felt like ads. UGC is not supposed to feel like an ad. It's supposed to feel authentic and genuine. So when you're creating your UGC ads, keep that in the back of your mind. Like they're not actually supposed to look like ads. And if a brand gives you a script, like Kristen said, the brands, that's all they think about. They're all in their head. Say this, 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 and this. And I had a brand recently say, give me a script. And all it was listing out all the unique selling points, the deal that they had going on, and something else. And I'm like, yeah, but the mum sitting at home doesn't care that it comes with an extra attachment or a 20% off. She wants to know how that's going to change her everyday life, how it's going to make her life easier.
Is it budget friendly? Like,
yeah. So those are the sort of things, like the psychological triggers. And we teach our students this inside our membership. I've got a list of 12 psychological triggers that are really effective in ads, because you're getting inside the head of the person who's potentially going to buy that. You're not just talking about the product itself, basically.
And don't be afraid to, if you've got a UGC job and you do it scripted because that's what they've asked, you might do that. But then don't be afraid just to create another wholesome, even if you don't edit it, just create a wholesome video that talks exactly about that product or service and watermark it and just send it to them and say, hey, look, this is just an option. I'd be really curious if you'd like to, look into this one or challenge me on this one or something, because I think that's how you're going to potentially get more longer term clients. That's how brands are going to go, oh, okay, I see potential, that you're not just going to be someone that's going to fit the bill, but you're going to push us, you're going to challenge us, and you might be someone that they go, you know what, we want you on a long-term scale. We want you to help us look over our brand and marketing. Like, these are busy companies, small businesses that don't have resources to have 50 people look over this and create the scripts. And so by doing that, you're actually going, hey, here's a solution, I can help, and it's going to help you as a UGC creator to gain more jobs and build more trust and just be able to actually leverage one job into potentially a long-term client, which is incredible.
And UGC is designed to, you want that engagement on the ad. The more engagement an ad gets, the more it's going to be pushed out as well. So if you can get people to have conversations in the comment section about it, instead of just listing out the unique selling points, it's going to be a better ad and it's going to be more authentic. And even if some negative comments come up about what you're saying, that's kind of a good thing too.
It's still people talking, isn't it? Like you're still getting eyes on your business.
Yeah, that's it. So everyone is doing UGC without even knowing it. Why not get paid for it? And if you can get really, creative and think about it, you can actually, recently with that job that I was just talking about, I did the script that they wanted to do with all the unique selling points, but then I also came back to them with 3 other concept ideas from a mother's point of view to test. And then I doubled the gig because they said, yeah, great, let's do those 3 videos as well. So
it'd be interesting to get, it'd be interesting to get feedback on those ads as well when you can, and even we'll come back and kind of full circle. I fucking love that in emails. Let's full circle on that one.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like it's important. I mean, a lot of brands won't get back to you because they're busy and they don't want to share their numbers, but it is a good thing to go back to them and say, hey, how did that ad perform? How did that other idea that I had go? So,
And so it's one of those things that I think, if you're listening to this and you're either a UGC creator and you're wondering how you can get more jobs, how you can maybe challenge the way that you create content, just maybe for the next day or so, just stop and think about, or when you're in the schoolyard, when you're talking to your best friend, when you're in your WhatsApp groups, when you're talking to your mum, listen to how you speak about something you love. And if somebody tells you something, listen how they're talking to you about it and what your reaction is. And only recently, we were, again, mum school group, we're at the playground, the kids are playing, we're all standing there talking, we're all 40 plus. And one of the mums said to me, she said, oh, what skincare product do you like? Your skin's looking really lovely lately. I was like, stop it, number one, stop it. But also don't. And I just said to her that I'd recently started using Go-To skincare. And I started explaining that. And the reason I started using it is one of our very close family friends, she started using it and said to me, she's 40, she's nearly 50. And she said to me, oh my God, like she doesn't spend much money on any kind of cosmetics. And she was like, mate, this is the only 3 products I will ever spend money on. Like money well spent, like under $150, like blew my mind. And she's also been in makeup and stuff like that. She was a makeup artist for a while. So I was like, she knows her shit. So I bought it because she told me it was incredible and I trust the hell out of her. I don't spend much money at all on skincare. I bought it. I've then told 2 mums. One of the mums said, send me a photo when you get home. She's bought it. And one of the other mums said to me the other day, can you send me the same photo? So that is the power.
That brand has now just collected 3 or 4 long-term customers that are going
to And then those 3 or 4 go to their 3 or 4. Yeah. And so I suppose what we want to leave you with and challenge you to do is to actually just think about that. So if you are a small business, please put this in the back of your mind or front of mind. Okay, how can I better connect with content creators that will challenge my business? Like, am I listening on social media? If I'm being tagged, what are people saying? And if I'm being tagged and shared, what are their comments saying? And who is the person that's tagging and sharing me? Because they might have potential to leverage my brand if I put if I back it with a Spark ad or if I engage them with UGC. So as a small business, if you're listening to this, then let's step into those shoes. If you are a creator and you're a UGC creator or you're curious or you're just a freaking mum that's like, I want to do this, I challenge you just to listen and be in those moments for a bit. Like, hear what people are saying, look at comments on social media, who's being tagged, and notice when you go, oh, I'm going to click that because that sounded amazing. I'm going to click those pants. I'm going to click that top. I'm going to click that product. Why did you click? And if you're clicking because somebody said something that made you feel something that made you continue to go down there and or buy it, If you can do that, or if you already do that with your friends or family or whatever, you'd be amazing at UGC, and you can do it differently your way. And I think, we teach that inside our community. So we've got a free workshop. Come along. We're going to get hands-on with this, all the details in the show notes. But we would really encourage you to do that. And if you're already a creator and you're struggling or you're wondering how to be different, really lean into how you're feeling, how you're sharing products that you're not getting paid for.
Yeah. And just understand how valuable your content is to these brands.
Yeah.
One piece of your content could make them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So your content is valuable, especially if you can evoke a feeling or get someone to click and take action.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, Mia, we're going to do a little love, don't love. And I feel like I've dropped a few loves, so I'm going to drop them again just so you can totally have them. Yeah, you know it. So what are your loves, don't loves, Mia?
Right. I'll start with my don't love is the bloody dentist. Oh, my God. My son has had a few trips recently. I nearly fainted in one of the trips.
I don't blame you, mate. Like, I can't believe that you did that. My son went under to get his done, and when you told me, I was like, oh, no, I couldn't even take him to the hospital.
I'm a nurse and an ex-ambo. Like, I've seen some shit. But when he had to get a tooth extracted, the poor kid, and they did it in the chair, and the nurse had to help me because I went all pale and sweaty, and I was trying to be strong for him, and he was a little trooper. But oh my God, and I've got a cavity and I've had it for a while and I just can't bring myself to go to the dentist.
Yeah, you just push your son in there, be like, Mummy won't go, but you can do it.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm just like, oh my God, I need Valium before I go to these places. But dentist, oh no, can't do it. Very lucky that I haven't had many problems with my teeth, touch wood, but
I don't blame you. Don't blame you. Once kids are involved, it's all over Red Rover.
And he's like, oh, Mum, maybe I should do 100 days without sugar. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'll do that with you. so it's been a good lesson for him to, not want friggin' lollies all the time. But that's my don't like. My love this week is, this is just going to be a little promo, not an affiliate for this software, but there's an app called Glide app, and you can build yourself a little no-code app based on a spreadsheet, information inside a spreadsheet.
Nice.
So I developed an app that I've been selling on my ADHD page, and people are loving it. And it was so easy. Like the software that's out there right now to help you build digital products.
It's insane.
It's so easy. Like, I can't believe that you can just do this these days. Like, think past your little Canva guides. Like, we're in that space where you can build no-code apps and, lots of different things. So have a look at it. And if you've got an idea that could potentially be a little app, Glide app. Super easy.
Nice.
How about yourself?
Well, yeah, I'm going to just go with the love of the go-to skin products. Like,
I'm going to have to buy it. Yeah.
Like, insane. I've never spent much money on skincare just because, like, I chop and change, because every time I read a box, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have like a facelift if I use this cream once. It doesn't work ever. But the reason that I love this even more is, one, it's a beautiful product. I love Zoe Foster Blake. I love the way that she markets her business. I think it's so clever and all that. So that is a massive tick, but the product itself is incredible. But it wasn't until I said to my husband come Mother's Day, I was like, don't buy anything but if the kids have to buy something, I'm going to buy a whole new range, like the go-to again, because it needs to get more. And he was like, yeah. I was like, so I'll just order that. You give that. And he's like, oh, have you been using that? Because like when we were down the river, like you wash your face and it was like really shiny and really like healthy and glowy. Was that it? And I was like,
must be
stop it. I know. I was like, thanks. And I was like, I actually said to him, I was like, thanks for noticing. He was like, yeah, it's looking really good. I was like,
oh, wow. All right.
I know. So my husband's noticing it. I mean, it's got to be fucking good.
And it's so hard to tell these days with there's so many skincare brands. It's hard to know until you hear someone else say, this is amazing. Try this.
Yeah. And my don't love, I don't really know, but I'm going to say this because it may hit somebody else and be feeling that way, is just and we've said this before, it's the consuming content. I just get to the point where I'm consuming content and I'm judging it more not on what I'm consuming and learning, but like, oh, I need to edit it that way and do this, and I should put this in CapCut and do this font and this and this and this and this, to the point where then I don't create. And so I haven't loved that about the way I've been consuming social media, which has stopped me. And we've had millions of conversations about that. It stopped both you and I, but it stopped me actually creating content. And yesterday we both said to ourselves, log off Slack, go and do some content, fuck off, don't talk to me. And so I recorded 6 videos that I just let verbally diarrhea out my mouth. Then I put it in TikTok. The fucking fonts in there shat me to tears, but I just posted them. I got them all out. And so I just went back to the messy that was. And I think...
What did I say to you? I said, remember, Kristen, I've earned multiple 6 figures with messy as fuck TikToks.
Yeah.
The fonts didn't match. Like, I know branding is really important, but when you overthink it and it stops you from getting the content out, it's like...
And I also think, because this is another bit, we might do a whole episode on this one day, but my biggest thing, which I've realized, and I did a TikTok about it and a few people commented that they agreed, is because the content is really curated now, especially on Instagram, where it's the cap cut and the fonts and the zooms and the this and the fucking everythings. I'm not therefore consuming that information to take it and go, fuck, that was helpful. I'm looking at it going, okay, what fonts? Would they do that? Oh, how'd they do that? I might do that. Oh, I've saved that. Is that the trending song? And a lot of people said that's now how they feel about it. Is they're not actually enjoying the content for the content giving me more value in my life, but rather judging myself that I'm not doing it like that and how did they do it? So I'm wondering, like, just check yourself. If that's something, just create the content. And I know we say this and me and I get in ruts, but I enjoyed creating the content. And this morning I edited it all. I got up at 5 when I get up and I edited it all and punched it all out on TikTok. And I was like, okay, fuck, that feels better. So it's just a little side note.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Don't overconsume.
Yeah.
It definitely puts a handbrake on what you're trying to do.
Yeah. All right, team. Well, we are going to catch you later.
All right. Hooroo.
Okay, bye. Stop. All right, I'm going to pause recording again. Okay, let me read the introduction, see if I can do it. Welcome to the I Am That Content Creator podcast. We're cutting through the noise to show you exactly how to create scroll-stopping content, land premium brand deals, and build a thriving online business. No bullshit, just proven strategies to scale. And I nailed it, and I can't believe it.
It's because you're on TikTok Live.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Welcome, everyone, to the podcast. I nailed the introduction. We've decided to do our podcast lives as well. So, like, we're doing it live on TikTok and we're doing it here. So Mia and I are just, like, getting into the jam. So any questions on the TikToks, I'll see if we can answer them as we go. But if not, we'll just do the podcast because that's what we're here for. Today, we're going to be talking about if you've got a male in your life, you want to give them this podcast because we're going to help them earn an income or see the potential of an income with UGC, user-generated content. So we really want to share that brands are out there and they need us, women 40 plus, but they are desperate for men because, I don't know, there's like social media, women just seem to kind of flock to it and men just don't seem to do that. So... let's discuss.
And you think about it. So there's so many brands that are directed towards men, and they need men content creators. I mean, there are a lot of male content creators, but not that many male UGC creators. So, and the ones that are, you know, in the scene, they're getting good jobs and a lot of jobs because these brands are like, shit, there's women everywhere. I need a man for my product. It doesn't have to be a male-only product. It can be, you know, anything where women or men purchase it because they need that social proof from both sides. So, and we're having this conversation because I recently got my partner his first UGC job, and he said yes because he saw what the product was and how much he was going to get paid. And it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure if he's going to do speaking to camera as such. And that's the thing with UGC. You can do voiceovers and sort of work your way up to speaking to camera. But, you know, he's a tradie and he's getting old and he's got arthritis and he wants to get tools. And if you're a tradie, you know, a lot of them, they're like, what else do I do? This has been my whole entire life. I've been a builder my whole entire life. What the fuck else am I going to do? And so I will help him, obviously, but there's so many brands out there just looking for male UGC creators.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing too. It's such a low barrier to entry. You don't really have to have experience. You don't have to have a big audience or a niche or a product of your own. you can get started with pretty much nothing.
Yeah. And I think that's the key thing, is that there's a low barrier of entry. And if you're creating content and you've got a partner and you can get him into it, I know mine would absolutely not, unless he was not in it whatsoever, couldn't be seen, couldn't kind of get around it in any way. But then sometimes I'm like, well, if it means he potentially gets a free product and we get paid, maybe he would just like be in the background and just using it, but never face to camera, or ever, like never. He just wouldn't. Yeah. But there are a lot of men that would, and a lot that I think we could definitely, you could definitely support and just slowly bring them in, just gently kind of bring them in with you.
Yeah, when I started UGC, I was like, oh God, I'm not getting my face on camera. No way. How embarrassing. But then I got my first job and it was $400. I'm like,
I'll do that.
I'm going to do that again. And so I'm hoping that happens with my partner too, because, it's a product that he's going to use all the time in the shed, like in the garden, and, $600-800, like that's half a week's wage. Just with one video. So if you're already a UGC creator, think about putting some content of your partner in your portfolio too.
Yeah.
Because
just pause for a sec, because I just want to check that people can hear.
I got out of the TikTok because I think that's too much going on.
So I'll turn it up. Does that matter if I turn it up? Let me know if you're watching this live, if Mia's just left, because I think it was echoey and we tried to be really clever where we're doing a podcast live and she was on there, but I feel like we can hear. That's great. Thank you so much. All right, well, we're just going to keep going back with our conversation. I was just like, I don't really know. And I was like, if we're not concentrating, then we'll just keep going. So, and I was like, anyway, we're going to keep going with what we were doing before. So I think, all right. Oh, then none of that. Then all of that was recorded. So now I have to edit that out. So that's fine. Oh, and I got those. So what I thought. So Mia, I suppose for any new listeners, welcome. Let's explain UGC, because if somebody's just grabbed their partner and gone, come and listen to this, and he's like, I don't want to listen to this. How can we break this down in a way that sounds really, I don't know, cooler for men? Because for women, it's like a bit like it's really exciting and exhilarating. And oh my God, I could earn an income with just my phone, and it's a really great income. But as I know from my husband, even when I explain to him now what we do, he's like, cool. Yeah, you do you, boo. So let's explain it in a way that, especially like, okay, you're telling your husband, explain what you want him to do.
We're like, all right, so this brand is sending you a $400 product that you get to keep for free in return for a piece of content that they can use for ads. Doesn't go on your Facebook or your Instagram, nothing like that. No one has to know you do it. There's the potential that people that you know may see your ad on Facebook, but hey, like you're getting paid to do this. And so once the content is made, the brand will pay you for that content and they use it as their ads. You get to keep the product forever and they may come back for more. And the beauty about this is, one UGC video could be, $400 or $500. And you start to do a couple of those a week and it starts to form a really good income. And the thing is, like, a lot of people still love their jobs. They still want to go to their work, but could you imagine an extra $500 to $1,000 a week on top of your income to, I don't know, spend on a holiday or pay off your car loan or buy more tools for the shed or whatever it is you want to do? It's like a fun, creative way to make more money. And it's something that you don't have to, like most online businesses, there's a lot of time building an audience or setting up the business, buying all these things like domains and insurance and all this sort of stuff. UGC, you can kind of get started straight away with nothing. So because it's such a low barrier to entry, it's one of the best. I don't even call it a side hustle because it can be so much more than that. But it's one of these things that you can get started straight away. And I actually saw a man, he was from the US, on a TikTok live. He got made redundant from his job, which I think is happening quite a lot in the US now. And he's like, shit, what am I going to do? I've got a mortgage, I've got kids. How the hell am I going to live? and he started UGC, and now he's earning more than his previous job doing UGC. And that's what happened to me too.
That's crazy.
I couldn't believe it. So, and especially for people like my partner, he's been a builder his whole adult life. He knows nothing else, but his body is starting to give up on him. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? So this is something that you can do from home. The pay is quite good. And especially if you're a man, you're going to be quite sought after. So you might end up being super busy with this. And you can do it when you want, from where you want. We did it tripping around Australia. I mean, he did appear in some of my UGC videos and he helped me out with the filming and stuff. But now that this brand has come to us wanting him in particular, he can start making his own money as well.
And it's one of those things that, like, without being stereotypical, like, if I think about my husband, or I think about some of the things like tools, caravans, 4-wheel drive, camping, like, yes, obviously women can do all that, but there is a big section of the market that would be more appropriate / would work best and well if you've got that demographic, the age, the gender, all of those things that a little bit more. We just had another podcast that we did the other week that was talking about, the mum school chat, where mums are sharing things they love and how they love and what they love. And that's like that authentic UGC. And, I think about my husband's going away with some mates to the Fink Desert Race, and he's going a few weeks, and the chats of these guys, like, oh, we should pack that, and have you got this awning, and we've got this new Weber Q, and like, I'm like, guys, like, right there, y'all could be doing this and making money for your trip.
Fund your trip. If you could find brands that you're going to be using on that trip, they could fund that trip for you, pay for all the fuel, pay for and you get free products. And this particular brand who's come to me wanting my partner, they've also I've also passed on information for another creator that we know, and she's getting her dad into it, and he's in his 70s, and they've snapped him up too. He's 70.
That's so cool.
And he's quite funny on camera, but age doesn't matter. Like, these brands need specific demographics to promote their products. So,
well, didn't the brand that you're getting your partner into, they were asking for women from kind of 45 to 85, like 85. That's their demographic that they need to create content for. And the thing with UGC, and the thing that we love about our community, is we really do lean in more around the 40 plus, because we're women that are 40. We know what it's like. There's lots of younger 20-year-old UGC creators that have got time, space, aesthetic freedom, all the things, where as busy mums, our houses aren't perfect, our lives aren't perfect. There's half the times chaos, but we're also the purse strings of the family that are purchasing these things, that want to see women that look like us, or men that look like us or our partners, to actually make those purchases. And so I think what's really cool, even inside the community, we've got a couple, and they did a UGC that I saw recently, I think for Domino's Pizza, and they were both in it, and I watched it. I was like, these guys are an incredible duo. Like, together they and they're doing different kind of camping things and stuff they can do together and separately. Yeah. And so, there's so many products that if you are a male and you hadn't thought of it, then it's something that you could certainly lean into. It's something that we've got what's called the fast track method, that can take you from having absolutely no idea to getting paid for UGC in 30 days or less, because we know that the thing for us is this gives you a skill set that you can use forever. Like, it's either the setup of growing an online business, or it's something that it builds confidence, clarity, video marketing. Like, it's a whole skill set in itself. It's not just UGC, and it's not just getting paid for an ad. Like, this could be what funds a business, what funds a holiday, what funds the renovations in your home, because you did, 2 videos a week for 6 months, or whatever that looks like.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you have a renovation coming up, go and approach the brands that you're going to buy these renovation tools and products with, and see if you can get these products for free in exchange for content. My dad has done UGC, because I got a brand come to me. It was deck oil, and they've got a big, beautiful deck out the back of their place. And I said, hey, Dad, do you want this job? I'll give you the money. And he's like, hell yeah. So he went and oiled all the deck and like was filming himself doing it. And, free oil deck, like, you're going to buy
That's
it anyway.
awesome.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and another thing too, if you're thinking, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't get my partner into this earlier when we were traveling around in Australia, but if you want to do that, pack up everything, hit the road, and you're wondering how the fuck am I going to make money on the road? UGC, get into it. Like camping products, four-wheel drive products, anything that you can create around inside a caravan or out in the wilderness. I was doing things like, these little fly things that keep the flies off the food, towels, like the products are just.
Is that where you did the Archies, the shoes as well?
Yep. So the thongs. Yes, his feet were in that video. So it's limitless, and the potential to make a lot of money is it's there. And we're finding our 40 plus women are doing really well because there's not many 40 plus women. So now you bring in 40 plus men. There's bugger all of those. So it's there.
And even with that, I think about my partner who wouldn't love it, but if he was using a tool or a product, or let's say the deck, he could be in it, not have his face in it, but I could be filming from the back, doing all the different shots that we teach our community how to do that and how to create good UGC, and then do a voiceover, and he does the voiceover. Or now with AI, you can get AI to do the voiceover with a male voice, but I'd get him, he'd be able to do the voiceover. So you don't have to be the face talking to camera. It can be, that kind of B-roll type footage where you just create the shots really cleverly, and then you do a voiceover, which can be incredibly impactful. So it's not like they have to be the face of that product. And, like you said before, it doesn't go on their social media, so their mates aren't going to see it. Not that I don't know about any of them, but my husband's certainly not. He'd be like, oh, am I going to see it on Gumtree?
Yeah. And like, that's the thing too, like in the beginning, it can be a bit cringy and what have you, and people might see your ads, but when you're earning the money and you're working from home whenever you want, and you're getting all these free products, you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep doing this. I don't care if someone laughs at me for 2 seconds.
You're getting paid for a new skill set. Like, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. And if you're a guy and you're sick of being on the tools, or you hate your job and you're looking for something else to do, but you don't want another boss, you don't want to be tied down, have a think about it. And like Kristen said, we're holding a free workshop. All are welcome. Like, we've got men inside our community as well. Just come and learn and see what it's all about. And, we're going to be getting down and dirty, figuring this out and helping you to get your first UGC job. So, that you got nothing to lose, basically.
Yeah. So we'll put those details in the show notes, or if you're live on TikTok with us, you can go to my profile, links there, click it, come to the workshop, because like Mia said, we're going to actually take some action and show you how to get your first UGC job and what that looks like. So that is, if you've got your men in your life, get them into UGC, get them into our community. We will support them. It's just such an incredible tool that you'll have forever, that you get paid to learn it. Like, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer.
So Mia, any loves, don't loves? I need to think about mine because I didn't do my homework, but you did. So I'll let you go first.
I did my homework. I had to think really hard about these. So I'm going to start with my don't love, and I don't think anyone would love this, to be honest. My gov. Oh my God. Is it this the most painful thing in the world? Like,
horrendous.
I'm trying to log in to pay you guys money. Oh no, that's not what we've got. No, you can't log in. No, you're locked out for 24 hours. No, that doesn't match our fucking records. It's like, I've had the same bank account and the same super account since I was fucking.
And can you put in all the details 7 times? Like, exactly the same ones I asked you 2 questions ago, all the same ones. And when we get to the 8th time, I'm going to be like, nope, too bad.
Yep.
You're locked out.
I can't get in, so I'll ring you, and then you're on hold for ages and like, oh, would you like a call back? Yes, please. And then they call you back, and then they put you on hold once they've called you back. It's like, oh my God, this is just so infuriating. But that's my don't love this week.
I'm going to share in that don't love and piggyback that, because I had to do that on the opposite side of him. That's why we both went to the ATO to do what we need to do. So I'm going to piggyback that because I also hated it. So there you go.
Yeah, horrific. And it's a bit like Centrelink too. They make it so hard that you just go, I can't be bothered. I'm just going to give up.
Yeah.
Just not going to give Speaking of, this kind of ties into that whole thing, is an app that I use every single day, especially if you're coming into UGC. You are a freelancer. You've got to have an ABN. You've got to pay your own tax, which is a pain in the butt. So I use a app called Henry, and basically they do everything for you. They lodge your tax return. They do all your GST. They do your BAS. They do everything. So it's kind of like this. They're all accountants and they all do it in the background, but you're not sitting down with a bookkeeper and accountant. And, it's just a good, easy way to take care of your tax. Because if you're anything like me, oh, yeah, I'll put tax away. And then you spend it. And then it comes tax time. You're like, shit. And a lot of tradies use it too, just a freelancing tax app. And I love it.
We'll put your link to that in the show notes as well.
Yes. If you use my affiliate link, you'll get $25 off. They charge you 1% of your income or your invoice to cover the costs. So I'll pop a link in the show notes to get $25 off that.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to piggyback your don't love, which is the ATO, and because we've been setting some things up for the business and same thing happened to me, but we've discussed that. So my love, it freaking rained. It rained in South Australia. I'm in South Australia and we've got a vineyard, and I know it didn't rain in all of South Australia. My heart goes out to a lot of the farmers in South Australia. The drought is really significant. But we got rain, which was amazing, and just enough that it blows my mind that literally 3 days ago it was a dust storm, and now there's a little bit the rain's come and there's all this greenness. I'm here, I'm still here, I'm trying to live. So that was cool. It was just nice and nice to turn the fire on and be like, oh, it's winter. Yeah. Great, love that.
I actually realised there was a pretty severe drought. Victoria, South Australia, and I was watching the news the other night, and a farmer said, if it doesn't rain in the next week, we're fucked, basically, because they're having to get all this water trucked in, and every water truck is $400 to $600, and they're getting multiple trucks in a day, and it's tough.
Well, I heard something that because there's a hay shortage, and obviously there's no green grass or anything, so the animals need to be fed by hay. And one of the girls I actually went to school with, she wrote this incredible letter to the state government, and one of the senators read it out. But they did some stories about her, and she said that it cost them $8,000 a week to feed their stock.
Yeah.
Where the fuck does that money come from if you're not generating the income? My heart goes out, and as much as it's my love, even when it was raining, it's not enough. I'll take it, but it's not enough. And then just all these people that are in the drought. So that's a love, don't love, in its weird kind of wonderful way. But that's farming. That's farming.
Meanwhile, flooding in New South Wales, what the hell? Yeah.
Outrageous. Anyway, it's enough weather chat. We're going to catch you next pod.
Hooroo.
Catch ya. Through the noise to show you exactly how to create scroll-stopping content, land premium brand deals, and build a thriving online business. No bullshit. Just proven strategies that help you to scale. Oh, hey, Mia. How you doing? There's no bullshit around here. Always oversharing. Yeah, so we've also decided that when we do these podcast recording, we're also both going to go live on our TikToks. So that's a bit fun. So welcome.
We're sometimes I think we're oversharing here.
We can answer them when we are less distracted and just
I like it when people overshare.
But we thought that would be a little bit of fun. So why not? This is how we podcast, through Riverside of all places. And right now we're talking about a topic that I think is probably close to both of us in terms of what happens after UGC. And that doesn't mean that you stop doing UGC forever. That means we know that in the UGC space, now that is user generated content, there comes a point where you're burnt out, overwhelmed, kind of go, okay, this is really great. I've earned a great income. What's next? And I know, Mia, it's probably best if you start to talk through this because I feel like you've been there. And then we want to talk about kind of the world of digital products and what that could mean for you. Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to talk about UGC and beyond. We love the beyond part because UGC is such a good low barrier to entry. I don't want to call it a side hustle because it's so much more than a side hustle. I think a lot of people think that it's just this fun little way to get free products and, you know, a bit of extra cash on the side. But there's so many creators making this their full-time gig, and the skills that you learn from UGC will set you up long-term, way down the track, because if your content isn't good, you can't sell anything. Doesn't matter if you want to set up a physical product business or a digital product business or what have you. You need good content, and you need to know how to create content that converts. And if you want to start running your own ads, having that UGC experience is so worth it. And so when I first started UGC, you know, it took off really quickly, and I don't know what that is, something on my TikTok live. And I replaced my wage really quickly. And so I was getting all these brands coming to me, and, you know, I reached that $10,000 a month. I'm like, this is friggin' fantastic. But after a while, because you're a freelancer and you're dealing with so many brands, and, you know, your inbox is full and you're getting back to people and you're trying to, you know, work it all at once, it can be overwhelming, and you can reach a point where you get this creative burnout. You're like, I don't think I can work with another brand at this point. So that's when I started to introduce other things like affiliate marketing and digital products to earn some money more passively, something that was scalable, so that I could bring back down the UGC jobs a little bit to a point where it was manageable and I wasn't getting overwhelmed constantly as well, like dealing with all these brands.
If you're creating videos,
so
you're creating content.
You know, not only was I getting those skills from the UGC, but that was actually helping me to promote the affiliate products and build my digital products. So it's kind of, and when you are a UGC creator, and not only are you creating all this content for the brands, but you're trying to build your own personal brand and do your own content. So I can get a lot. But those UGC skills are setting you up to become more successful in other things that you do a lot quicker. Because if you come into this space and you just want to sell a digital product, you've got no social media experience, no content creation experience, you're going to find it really hard to, because you got to build an audience.
And I think
that
what's
sort of stuff.
Interesting,
you need to build a personal brand.
I just did a TikTok the other day about
really frustrating in the beginning,
you know,
if you're
the
not
fact
making
that
any sales, and you're like,
when it comes to creating content, it can feel really tricky and hard, and we get stuck and all of that. And some of the comments that came back, one particular person came back and said, you know, she's not bad at creating content. She quite enjoys it. It's easy. It's not hard. But she said, I'm not getting the engagement. I'm not getting people wanting to know more or anything like that. And then I went and looked at her TikTok. And to me, it was plain as day. And I will go back to her and do a video that helps her, because I'm all about that. But every single video was this hard sell, this get the thing, sign up. And then I was like, whoa, okay. So then I went to the link in bio, and the link in bio was like one of the very, unfortunately, a little bit spammy, like sign up, change your life immediately. And there was no warm up. There was no nurture. There was like, if you put your email in there, you kind of know, and maybe because we're in the online space, we know what's going to happen next. But it was just very cold and very like, but what is this? Like, she's not telling me in these pieces of content what this is, why she started it, how she felt about it, where she was, her journey, her story. The personal brand part wasn't there. It was just this immediate smack of sell, desperate sell. And therefore, you know, that's what UGC can do for you as a content creator, is give you, if you're not skilled in marketing and branding, and even if you are, it still gives you a skill set that's going to allow you to be better at it. But it's that nurture, that personal brand, that softness that you need as a creator for somebody to actually stop. Because I think so often we think that somebody putting their email address in is just like another email. That is a currency. That is like somebody saying, here's $1. Because it's your email account is very, like, I have 4. So there are certain ones that I'm like, I don't want that coming to my main one. So I'm going to put it in there because I just want to know the information, but I don't want to be annoyed with all your emails. So it's a currency where somebody's saying, I trust you to come into my life. And I think what's good about what we're speaking to you about with this UGC and beyond is it's going, cool. UGC is like this starter pack of awesomeness where you can get paid when you don't need to have an audience. You don't need to put it on your own social media page. You can start getting paid in 30 days or less. We have a fast track method that can make you do that, help you do that, support you to do that. But then once you're at a point where you're like, oh, okay, this is a lot. I want to pull back a bit, but I'm so passionate about creating something online. What's next? And building that audience and sustaining a personal brand that's magnetic is everything. And it's missed a lot of the time from those people that haven't done UGC. I know that for, clearly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah. And you think about it, brands come to UGC creators because they know that content is so valuable and these creators know how to create content that converts. So they're coming to you for that because they know how powerful it is. So when you understand how to do that for your own business and your own ads and your own audience, like it's a no-brainer to learn those skills now because it's going to set you up. And not only that, but you're getting paid to learn and it's all kind of behind the scenes. You don't have to shout it out to the world that you're this UGC creator and all this sort of stuff. You're getting paid. So therefore your nervous system is, not out of control because you're so desperate to make money and you become desperate in your content to sell all the time because you're not making that money. And you're learning from brands and understanding their target audience and their problem and their solutions and how to create content for them. And you're just building this conversion instinct within you. Like now, I don't have to think twice about creating an ad to get people to take action. It just comes out because I've done UGC for so long. So it's this beautiful, sequence of events that is going to help you long term. And UGC is the kind of thing where you're like, well, it's not something, it might be for some people, but it's not something where you sit down and go, I want to be a UGC creator for the next 10, 20 years, because it's very hard to scale because you're trading your time for money. So it's very hard to scale. And it can become, overwhelming when you've got 10, 20 clients on the go at once.
And that's the kind of natural progression to take
you do need
into
to start
that
thinking about
digital product space. That
what's next after
you've got
UGC?
something. What you're wanting to do with the digital product basically is taking somebody that's in a problem,
affiliate marketing or a digital
and they've got a problem, and you're giving them a transformation with what you can teach them. Now, a lot of UGC creators will often kind of find their first digital product being a how-to guide or a what did I do? How did I get into it? What did I start? How did I start? And there's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, you need to be thinking about your personal brand as, no matter what you're doing as you're creating your digital footprint, you want to be attracting people. So if it is that your first thing is a how-to guide, nothing wrong with that. You want to start collecting emails and start being magnetic to the people that are watching your content and following your content. Now, some people, that might not be what you want to do, but you start somewhere. Start in that process, and that helps you understand your ideal customer and your target audience, so that when you're creating content, you're actively thinking about who you want to speak to, what you want to share with them, how you want to engage with them, because there comes a point with a digital product and being in this online space where you'll give so much value for free, which is a must. Like, it is what it is. You give all that value for free, and then there comes a moment where you go, hang on, I want to now create a digital course or a digital product or a community or a membership that I can put money on. And all of a sudden you've nurtured this community of people in your emails that then you're able to say, I've actually started this particular product. I've created an ebook. I've created a course. I've created a membership. Here it is. And then your audience are like, oh, yay, finally you've done something. Here's my money. But you've warmed them up to that. You haven't just kind of gone gangbusters with whatever you're doing and just start an account and said to people, buy my thing. Like, there's a real warm, real nurture process to creating a digital product that is actually going to convert. And the content is 1,000% that. And we talk about it often, the amount of shit, knocked that, the amount of, yeah.
Yeah. You need a nurture funnel. Like, instead of a sales funnel, I like to call it a bit of a nurture funnel. And inside our community, that's why we're so passionate in there's a lot of UGC courses out there, right? But they just teach how to do UGC. But we teach our students personal branding, how to build an email list, how to understand your target audience, knowing your deep why, this holistic sort of teachings, because we see UGC as that first step that you need to go to the next step much, much quicker. So we're sort of priming our students to think ahead and start collecting emails, even if you don't know what your digital product is yet, what you want to do in the future. It's important to understand lead generation and building that personal brand, and all the while you're learning how to create great content through your UGC. And that's why I think a lot of people just see UGC as this stupid little hot side hustle, but it's not. You got to look at it like step one of getting to the next stage a lot quicker. And that's why, I was able to scale 3 separate businesses to 6 figures pretty quickly because of that UGC and that knowledge and that experience that I had working with brands. And some of the brands that you work with, and if you form these relationships with them, they'll teach you. They'll give you a look at what they're doing, and you have, you can catch up with them and, talk about creative strategy, and, you get feedback from them on how your
and it's one of those things that
and then when you
I've
go
had
and
a
create
complete
your own
perimenopausal moment where my brain, like I had this idea, and I was
like,
like, I even did that because I do that too. I saw you did a TikTok about like ADHD
really
people,
great
and I was like,
and all this stuff because we
perimenopause.
understand that converting content.
Yeah, perimenopause has taken it, but it was. No. Stop. I know, but it was on that point too, because it was about it's like,
I gotta think about what I was gonna say. I'm like, it's gonna go.
Welcome to our life of perimenopause
and
building a business and now doing a podcast.
Come back later tonight.
What were you talking about? It was so good. Not so good, but it was quite a good point.
It'll be there. It's coming out.
I've literally got absolutely fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Oh, it's a shit show. Complete shit show.
So annoying. Nope, it wasn't. It was a point of the personal brand and why we teach that.
Come back later.
Oh, that's what it was.
3 C's maybe.
Here we go. The thing that we have done, and I know I have maybe done more than you, Mia, but I think we've done it in our own respective ways, is invested a lot of money in courses, a lot of money in learning, a lot of money in personal development, coaches, courses, all those things, which I have absolutely no regret to. Every single thing I've invested in has helped me in business, personal brand, business brand, my knowledge. So that's not the problem. But the thing that we do differently, the thing that we celebrate so much inside our community and why we're teaching UGC is this fundamental foundational thing is every single, and I would have spent, I hope my husband doesn't listen to this podcast so we can just cruise over this to over 20 grand on coaching and courses. I've made it all back, so whatever, suck it. But all of them teach you messaging and avatars and audience and content pillars. And I'm in brand and marketing, but they teach this stuff so you get deep in it, like you engross yourself in it. Not one of them teach you how you can go from 0 to earning any money in 30 days, which is what we do inside with the fast track method, because we saw this opportunity where Mia and I met, and she had this incredible background in her UGC and then affiliate marketing and all of that. And I had my background in personal branding, business branding. And there was there's this huge gap here where we've got these women that we're both watching who can do UGC and do what I'm doing in digital products and create that. But they're missing this step, which is how to kind of make it all work. And when we joined up and created this and went, hang on a minute, if we can teach women, we can teach people how to do UGC so that they can earn a flexible income and start to get paid on their own terms in their own time, and then build the digital product of their dreams, if that's what it's going to be, it takes this huge weight off your shoulders, which is the financial weight of being an entrepreneur, which I carried for a long time. And being a multi-passionate entrepreneur and a Manny-gen, I had lots of fingers in pies and all of them were working. But it wasn't until we kind of went, hang on a minute, this is, for me, someone that's seen, the last 10 years and what goes on,
massive.
This is the only thing I have seen work where you can get an income, a flexible income on your own terms whilst you work elsewhere, whilst you build your soap business, your Etsy business, your digital product, your fucking market business, whatever that is, because it generates an income that you can do. And then you get to take that fucking skill of video marketing and use it when you sell your own goddamn product. Like, this is why we're passionate. You tell? I'm glad I remembered this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, you take that money from UGC and you put it into ad spend, or you put it into building your business.
If it's a good digital product.
And I think a lot of people,
like, if you're just
TikTok
buying
has
something to sell something, we're going to call it out
glorified this digital product life, and it's so easy, and you just put it in your
just
bio,
becoming
and
a
you just create a lot of content.
And that's fine. It's cool, whatever you do.
It's not.
But you haven't created a digital product and got a transformation and pinpointed a pain point. I cannot tell you the conversations that Mia and I have about, no, that's not
you're
her
selling an
pain
opportunity.
point. She's not in pain. She's not thinking that. We go over and over until we can identify exactly how you're thinking and feeling. Because if we're not nailing the pain point that you have, why the fuck would you buy our thing? And you need to be that robust.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And that's like, people are not lying abed awake at night thinking, fuck, I really want a digital product. I just can't wait to sit down and watch hours and hours of videos and just get into it. They're not thinking that. You have to know how to get inside what they're feeling. You need to understand psychological triggers. And this is the sort of stuff that you learn in UGC because you're creating content to get people to take action and help them understand, with the hooks and the problems and the solutions and all that sort of stuff. You're learning how to, it just becomes second nature when you do it all the time for brands. So that's why we get so passionate about, yes, UGC is this awesome thing. You can earn good money really quickly. You can replace your wage really quickly. But sometimes when women come into our community, we're like, yeah, sure, we'll teach you UGC. But really we're
and
thinking,
so if you're listening to this and it sparks enough
before she even knows
for you
it,
to think either
and we see their content turn
just
around
heard about
like
UGC,
that,
welcome
sweet,
to the
she's
club.
On, and
it's something that we have a free workshop, all the details in the show notes, or if you're on the TikTok live, you go to the bio and you can join us there. It's a free workshop, hands-on, to learn about UGC and get yourself into the workshop as soon as you can and learn straight off the bat. We have a fast track method that takes you from absolute beginner to earning an income in 30 days or less. So that's all well and good. If you've never heard of UGC, come and start there. If you're doing UGC and you've stumbled on the podcast, and okay, I am curious now how I go from here. I probably, the first thing that we would suggest is, we can nurture you inside the community to do that too. But right now for you personally, really start to hone in on your personal brand and really start to figure out what makes you magnetic, what makes you stand out, what story you've got that you can share to transform someone else's life. And if you don't quite know yet what your digital product idea might be, then I'll put a question to you, which I'd like you to sit with and kind of mull in a little bit, is who do you want to work with and who do you want to help? Because at the end of the day, like, you might think, I want to make $1 million with a digital product and I'm going to help nurses understand how to take blood better. Clearly it's not my forte, and Mia will be like, I don't think you'll make $1 million there. But there is not one part of me, even if I knew that was going to make $1 million, there's not one part of me that has enough passion, consistency, and love for wanting to teach anybody that. So I need to identify that me personally, Kristen Werner, I want to work with women around their personal confidence and their personal power. Now that comes in many different forms over my career. And lately, it's really leaning into this confidence, becoming the CEO of your own confidence. But that's my drive in life. So if I'm doing that and that's where I'm leading from and that's what I'm here for, then doing what we're doing now with the UGC and digital marketing and how we're trying to continue to grow our legacy and our movement, it all stems from that. Like, that's who I want to work with. I want to work with mums. I want to work with women. I want to just empower you to be better, do better, and have all the confidence in the world. So I know that that's come from that place. So I would really encourage you, if you don't know, is to think, okay, who do I want to work with? And that person may change, or you may not know. And this is like that moment where you're like, damn, okay. That would be a really great place to start. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes, yeah. And this is a bit of a stark reminder because we went through this. You have to sell people what they want, not what you want, because they will tell you what they want. And although you've got to work with the type of person that you really want to help, but they will tell you what they want. And this is why we teach our students back it before you build it.
But still
you
knowing
need
that,
to understand your audience, understand what they want before you go and build this big course, and then get to the point where you're trying to sell it. And
but then understanding what do they want. And I think
so
that's
there's a fine line between selling what you
to really get your head around. And if that's all we leave you with this episode,
and we work with our students,
just that thought of, okay, amazing, who do I want to work with, and what do they want? What are your audience asking from you now? What do people come to you and ask you for advice from? What have you been through? And this is where, ideal customers and audience, we can go down that path in another podcast. We go down that path inside the community, but that part is all around, what are people asking you already, and how can you help them? What transformation? And you are usually your ideal customer. You 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 10 years ago, you are usually that person, and you've been through something, and now you want to take somebody else through that step. So that's what we say when we say UGC and beyond is we're here to support the start of your journey and get you going. And then if you're in UGC and you're like, yeah, I don't know how to do the next part, I'm curious, I didn't know there was more, I want to earn a more passive income, then let us know, because that's something that we're hugely passionate about, and we can help you get there.
And another thing that we teach our students too, which is really, really important, and I don't think it's talked about enough, is things like knowing your numbers, knowing your metrics with your content, like speaking to the brands, getting like, what was my hook rate? What was my hold rate? Understanding how to improve this for the brands, but then knowing that stuff is really important when you go and sell your own product, and, even knowing your earnings per lead and your conversion rates and all that sort of stuff. If you start learning that now, which is what we take our students through in the community too.
Amazing.
When you get to that point,
I think we've covered everything we need to, except for the loves don't loves, and I don't have any, really, but should we just see what we can come up with?
You've already got that in your back pocket, and you've been paid this whole time to learn it through UGC.
I didn't.
Wrap it up. Yeah, I did my homework again, and I wrote them down because I got to write down everything because I forget. My don't love this week is the overwhelmingness of what's happening in the world. Like the bombardment of news and stories and the TikToks and what's happening. Like
the pace
sometimes
at which things are moving is like,
watch it and I'm just like, fuck, what's the point of like anything that I'm doing? Like everything in the world is just so overwhelming and so scary. I just want to switch it off and not watch it. Yeah, it's really scary.
No.
Yeah. And every day there's something else, and there's something, it's just really overwhelming. And I think we spoke about this last week or the week before, is just that overconsumption of content. It's not good for you. What you're trying to do, it can prevent you from creating content. It can, really put a halt on things. And, obviously you need to understand what's going on in the world and, help where you can help and all that. But it's that our brains weren't made to consume so much news and content all the time. So I've been, struggling with that lately, and I just have to get to the point where I'm just like, nah, turn it off, not watching it.
Game changer.
So that's my don't love this week, because it's getting really hectic out there in the world. But my love this week, totally random and off topic, but Did you know you can schedule
Or even I
texts
find that I'm like I'll be
phone
lying in
to
bed and
send
be like,
later?
oh, I've got to reply to that person.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I
they're
only
not going to get
discovered
it
that the other
now,
day.
but
I'm like,
you'll
oh
be
my
better
God.
off if you
Oh my
schedule it for
God.
8 a.m. and then
So
they
now
get
when
it.
I
And you're
remember
like,
someone's
"Is that
birthday, I'll just
last
write the text and
Psych."
schedule it for that date so I don't forget on the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
It's too late. Yeah.
It is good. It is a winner. I can't think of a don't love
And you
now,
just
so I
like
can skip
you're on
past
top
that
of
'cause
everything.
we
You're
don't need that.
organised.
The weight of
You
the
didn't
world's
forget
too
the
much anyway, so I'm
anniversary,
going to give you my
whatever it is.
love because I don't know why
love
this
that.
didn't
So,
hit me like a 10
go and have a
ton
look
truck
in your
at
iPhone to
start.
find that
I
feature.
went away
'cause
for a
it's
girls' weekend.
awesome. All right,
Fuck,
what
this
about
girls'
your
weekend
loves?
is so
Don't
good.
loves?
Oh my God. Like just a girls' weekend. Like we hired a houseboat that didn't go anywhere. It was just moored, and we went there. And there's 5 of us. We just drunk all weekend,
Yeah.
and we dressed up as a
Mine's
Spice Girl.
tomorrow. It's not a weekend, but tomorrow's my.
I know. Well, I don't trust any of them driving it. So like, I'm in charge. And then I was like that drunk. I was like, I don't trust myself. We weren't that drunk. I shouldn't say that. We just had some nice nights of champagne and bubbles and lols. But we dressed up as the Spice Girls because that's what 40-year-old
Luckily, the
women
houseboat
do.
didn't go anywhere.
Whatever.
Could you
Judge me,
imagine?
don't judge me. Who cares? But it was just wholesome. Like, you know, when I just like laughing is one of my favorite things to do. And I just didn't stop the whole time. It's just so good. So that was my love.
Yeah. Standard.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Yep. And even like, you know, I sent Mia a Slack message the other night just about that, and probably my don't love is that 4
and when you're a
till
mum
7
too,
p.m.
you know, you get
same
stuck
shit,
in mum
different
land,
day,
and
come home,
sometimes
unpack,
you forget to
have a
laugh.
snack,
It's like I
have
haven't
dinner,
laughed. It's been like a week. I've just been yelling at the kids all day.
Didn't do it for 8 years.
So
you
got to make that time.
And then like it was just nice when you're away. Like I just didn't have to make anyone a snack. Like we all made each other snacks, and we're all mums, and we all like for dinner we just had a cheese board. No one had to cook a damn thing, and like just somebody was like, another bottle of champagne? Yes, please. Yeah. Gin? Yes, please. I was like, oh, my cup is so full. Yeah.
Girl dinner. Yeah. That's my dinner.
Yeah. Love that. So that's our loves, don't loves, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. And me and my friends, we actually try to schedule it in once a month because it is hard to get everyone together.
Again so we can get ready for the next one. See if there's any
date once a month. It's got to happen. Otherwise, you
I'm
go,
getting a bit lightheaded. It's been a morning.
Right.
Righty then. Welcome to the I Am That Content Creator podcast. We're cutting through the noise to show you exactly how to create scroll-stopping content, land premium brand deals, and build a thriving online business. No bullshit, just proven strategies that help you scale. I'm Kristen Werner, joined by Mia Steele. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, dog? You can always tell, I don't know, let us know if you jump in our DMs and be like, oh, that must have been the 4th podcast you guys did in a batching, because we go from like pretty straight laced to like lost our shit by the end of it.
What's up? What's up, dog?
It's a lot, but it gets us through 4 weeks, so we're here for it. I know, right? So good. So, Mia, what are we going to chat about today on the old Poddy McPod?
This is it's all about the batching content, but we'll thank ourselves next week and the week after because we don't have to do one. Yes, so we're talking about how to stamp your authority as a UGC creator.
I was thinking about this, I think, in the last
brands,
podcast,
when you're
liaising
with them, when you're negotiating,
about it, just all that stuff.
How do you come across
ground my
as
gears
an
enough that I just want to share it with you and with you listening. And that I was watching a TikTok, I believe, of a UGC creator, quite a potentially well-known one, and that was all fine. I've seen a few people talk about this, that they're like, you know, it's not that easy and it takes time to do this and time to do this and time to do this. And then you got to do this. And like, there was a lot of that. And I was like, cool. So if you went to work, like your job, and you got up and you had to get changed, have a shower, take your kids to school, put them in OSH, get their lunches, get your lunches, drive to work, drive an hour in that traffic because you didn't really enjoy it, get to a place where you're a boss you fucking hate, do a job you fucking hate for 6 hours a day, to drive home, to go to OSH, to pick up the kids, to do the...
Yeah.
Or you could do those few jobs that, yeah, fine, they feel a bit tough, right? To get your UGC jobs and to put yourself out there and write the emails and the back and forth. And we have the conversations. It's not fucking rainbows and butterflies all the time. But then you
That's
get paid
hard.
$600 for that potential day work. Like, could be less, could be more. Like, I just thought I'd put that out there because it's ground my gears so fucking hard because I'm like, the alternative, weigh that up.
Mm. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I know. And I've yeah.
Hard work.
Yeah. And I've seen, TikToks about that, and like, don't deter these women from potentially doing something that can change their fucking life. Firstly, sure, anything that is worth something is hard.
That's actually ridiculous.
But, I've had this conversation with people too. They're like, oh, don't say that UGC is just easy and you just create this 30-second video and you get, $600. Yeah, of course there's work in it. I used to be a paramedic. That's fucking hard. That's fucking hard. This is easy compared to that. So it's like, if you see content like that, saying that,
and the potential growth
does
and
take time. Of course it does. Everything takes time.
Like if you learn this skill set of
don't let that deter you from doing it,
you learn brand and marketing. Like you're
skill and
basically getting paid
really well
to learn brand and marketing. You're getting paid to create the ad, do the negotiations, set up a business. And then if you choose to continue on to maybe create a digital product that becomes what we did in under 12 months, a 6-figure business. Like it just kind of, like you said, it breaks my heart a little bit because it shouldn't be easy. It shouldn't be. And if it's worthwhile, it's going to take a bit of work, but it's worth it. And I think that, anything that somebody's selling you that's like, just use this link and make $1 million. Well, that's a crock of shit. But yes, it is a 30-second video that you get paid for. Like, that's the truth. Is there work to do behind it? Of course there's fucking work. If you go to a job, your boss isn't like, hey, you showed up. Here's your money. Fuck off. Off you go. Like, so I just thought I'd put that out there because it's just something that has annoyed me enough that I wanted you as a listener to know that it's okay if you have moments where you're like, this is fucked. Like, this is taking me so long. I'm so annoyed. That's normal. That's life. And if you're a perimenopause, it's going to happen more and more if someone looks at you the wrong fucking way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah. So that was a massive tangent, but I thought it was worthwhile. Just
but yeah, I would be way more ragier
if
I was going
because it's
to
something
my old job 50 hours a week,
it's
and then I got to
happen.
come home and
it's
deal with
even in digital products.
And
people are going to tell you to sell a digital product and you make $1,000 a day. They don't tell you that it could take you 3, 4, 5, or 6 years to get an audience big enough to do that. So, you just
it's very true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's hard, but the alternative is harder.
Anyway, back to the topic. Off we go.
That's hard. So yeah, don't let people deter
I don't even remember, mate.
Obviously there's work involved. Yes, you don't just shit out money and Bob's your uncle. So yeah,
yes,
be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Yes, stamping your authority. So So Kristen, if you were a brand and a creator came to you and you wanted some content and you said, here you go, here's a script, off your way.
For me, the biggest thing
and you're sort of hoping that they do a good job.
How they use the product.
Creator say to you
honest
to make you
review of how they potentially use the product. Like if a creator got a script,
I'm going to keep this one close.
And they read the script and they came back to me with this is great, really like it. Look, just letting you know, this is how I use the product. I'd love to be able to maybe create some content around this. Have you thought about this? If it is solution focused in terms of not, I don't like the script, I'm not doing it, I don't like that. Well, that's not my jam. But if you came back as a creator and said, look, script is great. I was just thinking, this is how I actually use the product. I'd love to do this. Are you open to me creating another video for you as well? And for me, that would show me that that creator is not just a copy paste, I'll do the job and move on and do another job, but is somebody that has a creativeness about them that they're willing to go, oh, it's good, but have you thought about this? Because as somebody in a brand and management role, you've got lots of hats, you've got KPIs that you've got to hit. So you're thinking about your big goal. You're thinking about what this needs to do for your business, how this needs to drive revenue, and what you've been told from either the marketing team or the brand team how it has to be done. So that's your hat. You're wearing that. So if a creator comes and just says, cool, I'll do exactly what you've said. Here's your piece of, here's your video, off they go. You go, cool, plug that in, off we go. But if a creator comes and goes, here's a video, I've done it, but I'm just thinking, this is how I use the product. I love this product. This is how I've shown my mother how to use it, my sister, my husband. This is how we use it in our family. It saved us X amount of dollars. I'd love to do a bit of a script that's maybe more like this. And you might not create the video, but you might just come back with a script. I am sitting in that seat going, oh, actually, I never thought about that. That's quite interesting. You know what? If you could create me that video as well, we'd love to back it with a Spark ad. And if they came back and said, look, create that video, just give it to us for free, I would say, I'd be strong enough to say, well, no, if you'd like me to create that, I'd love to. Here's my rates, blah, blah, blah. Don't just give it to them for nothing. But I still think you have that ability to go back and just break the mold a bit, push it a little bit, and show your own curiosity and your own imagination and creativity would be absolutely my suggestion. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So a proactive creator is going to catch the attention of a brand. And as a UGC creator, you're not just like a paid actor, you're actually a creative strategist. These brands are paying you to not only create good content, but if you can come back to them and say, I've got an idea for 3 extra hooks, understanding, okay, these brands have to test this content. How can I help them get the most out of this piece of content? I'll give them 3 extra hooks, alternative hooks. And you might charge $50 for each of those hooks. All of a sudden, your rate increases. They get more content to test. And then, you might email them a couple of months later. Hey, I was just wondering how my content performed. I actually had these concept ideas that I'd love to, share with you if you're open to. And then all of a sudden this brand is like, okay, they're actually thinking about us, about our content, forward thinking. I want to work with them again. And then that's how you form these long-term relationships with these brands, because as a UGC creator, it can be hard to constantly be chasing, new clients. But if you build these long-term relationships with these brands, it becomes easier to get consistent work.
Yeah.
Especially if they put you on a retainer and say, look, can you just do 4 videos every single month for us? Then that's, potentially 4 clients that you don't have to go chase every single month. So remembering to go back to those brands and touch base with them again is really important, and just helping them
if you're
with their content. And
somebody that, my suggestion
might get
would be
a job out of it that might be
a brand and marketing
creative
strategist, certainly someone that's
scripter,
kind of been in branding
editor.
Is
you don't just have to.
I know it's really tempting to
UGC.
Research the product. Obviously, if you don't know too much about it, research it. But I wouldn't go looking and stalking their ads too much, because it will slow your creative flow in terms of what you could do a little bit differently. Like if you've already got an idea and you already use a product and you want to approach a brand how you use and love the product, I would lead with that in terms of the negotiation you have with them, whether that's emailing them back a script or emailing them a pitch in the first place. But I wouldn't personally go, okay, I really would love to work with that brand because I love this brand. I use it day to day. I love that. I would love to work with them and do UGC. And then you go and look at their ads and you kind of get in that flow and you kind of you absorb everything they're already doing. So it means when you create the ad, you're going to create something that's exactly the same as kind of what's already happening. So, that must work for the brand. Where if a creator said, here's some ideas, this is what I'm thinking, I'd be really curious if this would work, here's suggestion X, Y, Z, whatever, solution focused, as somebody in that position, I would go, oh, you win. Like, you're the person I want to work with, not the other 6 people in my email box that have sent me exactly what they think I want. I want the person that's had the guts to go, love what you're doing. This is how I use your product. This is what I see. And I think, have the courage to do that, because at the end of the day, certainly if you've bought the product before or you use the product, you're already a customer and a consumer. So yes, you might want to win that job, but doing the same thing as everybody else might not win you that job. Where if you're prepared to be something else to these people and these brands, you're going to stand out. And then, like Mia said, there might be an opportunity where they're like, you know what, that was really good. We need some help with that. Or you might say, we've noticed you're not on TikTok. I can help on TikTok. These are the kind of ads I'd run. Like go to them with solutions. And I cannot stress that enough. In these brand and marketing, you wear a fucking 17 hats and you're expected to do everything when you're in the business. So if somebody comes with a solution, you're going to take a solution over someone goes, yes, I'll do exactly what you said. The ads you run now are good. I can do the same.
Yeah, exactly. And like they might have ads running and you can see that they've been running for a while. So obviously that ad is working for them. But the thing with ads, it's all one big science experiment. You just have to test, because eventually that ad is going to fatigue and they're going to need a new idea or a new concept or a new take. And if you can bring that to them and test it, it might go really well. It might flop. That's the whole game with running ads. You just don't know until you post it. But coming to them with these new ideas as a creator, like most of us are on TikTok all day, every day. I'd hate to see what my time is spent on TikTok. So you're consuming that content all the time, but these brands.
And you're going to see the trends before they see the trends. At the moment, there's the ugly ad trend.
So, they're not doing that all day.
And rawer the ad is, the better they're doing. Where, yes, I'm not saying that the small businesses and brand and marketing teams won't see that, but you'll see it first. And you'll be able to go and be like, this is what I'm noticing in the particular space that you're in. This is what I think would work. This is, be that person to them if you really do want to secure yourself as a creator for them and or maybe have a long-term relationship. I think it's the best way to go about it.
Yeah. And another way to sort of, state your authority, that you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing, is, and I'm guilty of this when I was first doing UGC, I'd do the job and forget about it and then move to the next one. Instead of going back to that brand and saying, hey, how did my content perform? Do you mind giving me my hook rate, my hold rate, maybe the ROAS? They won't always give it to you, but just try. Because if they come back and say, oh, your hook rate was 50%, you had really good numbers, you put that on your portfolio for the next brand to see. And then they go, that creator knows these metrics and these numbers and what they mean and how important they are. They're not just pulling shit out of their ass and just hoping for the best. So, and it all comes down to what we teach inside the community too, is like your personal brand, understanding your brand and their brand, understanding how Facebook works, and you might even want to do a bit of like there's heaps of Facebook ad courses that you can
it's something that
for free, just to get your head around what these brands
very
are
new to this space,
say,
and you haven't had many
so you can come
UGC
to them
jobs
and
yet,
know what you're talking
and
about.
You're thinking, I'm too green, I haven't had many jobs, I don't feel like I can say anything. I would just really encourage you to own your own space in terms of who you are as a person first. And that comes from building a powerful personal brand in terms of, personally, I am not comfortable. And I know we've spoken about it inside the Facebook group in our community. If you get a product and it doesn't align with you and it's not what you thought it was going to be and it's not good enough and you don't want to put your name and face and content behind it, even though you're going to get paid, that's okay to say no and just go back to the brand politely and say, look, unfortunately, it doesn't align with me. I'll send it back, and lots of the brands do appreciate that feedback. But, if you're new, I would just really encourage you to have the confidence to own your space enough to know that you have value and you have worth. And although you are working for these brands, you still have something to bring to the table, and that is your uniqueness with how you show up on camera, how you share your story, how you can attract a demographic or a group of people that they may not have attracted before. So I think just be really okay with that, because I think when we're new, we kind of go, oh, but I'll just take anything. I'm not good enough to get paid. I'm not good enough I haven't done this. Like, the brand won't care about my opinions or my thoughts. And I would strongly disagree with that from the brands that I've worked with, both as a marketing and branding person, and then people that I've worked with UGC. The more value that you can bring, no matter what level you're at, the more success you're going to have, both personally and with that brand. Hmm. Mm. Yeah.
And it takes time. Like, obviously in the start, your confidence isn't very high because this is very new, and you don't want to lose the job or step out of line or anything. But the worst thing that's going to happen is the brand says no. Cool. No worries. There's like a million other brands that I can go to anyway. So don't be, and we get a lot of beginner creators who, oh, I'm too scared to pitch. What do I say in my pitch? Like, if you can come to a brand with confidence, even if it's just fake confidence at the start, that's going to show them that.
And inside the community, there is a suite of and AI tools that Mia very cleverly has built most of them, but we've used everything that we've got in our little toolkit to create these AI tools that you can put in the URL of a product, and it will give you different scripts, different ideas. There's negotiation, pitching emails that you can put in the brand, and it'll help you create the email that you can send to these brands, adding your own tweaks. Obviously, we're all for that. But the tools that are available that we've built allow you to have more confidence to get going quicker. Or if you're already in UGC and you need more support there, well, then the tools are incredibly brilliant and are saving our creators hours of time, and also just those negotiations and pricings and all those things that you need as a creator. It's just this extra support for you as a content creator in this space. And it's unbelievable what they can do, if nothing else, just to help you level your own confidence. It's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. And you think about content, if content was so easy and all this sort of stuff, like, the brands would just do it themselves. So just know that your content is valuable to them. That's why they need your content, why
Just
they need creators all the time, because it can make or break their business, really. And we were just talking about a brand that we saw on TikTok the other day, the dentist.
Yeah, I think it was in the US, yeah.
Like, when you think of dentists, you think, oh, boring, sterile, white coat, like, but this... Oh,
had like
just
a basketball court, like a mini basketball
but
court.
This guy, he
like
had a pediatric dental
and like all
clinic.
the outfits.
I think he was
were
in the US or was it Australia? No, I think it was the US. And oh my God, his personal brand, his studio, his content was just so fun. And yeah, and they're looking at kids' teeth, like they just had them lay down on the couch, like in the waiting room, just having a little, just to help the kids with their nerves. And, if I was a mum in that area, I would go to that dentist rather than, the sterile place down the road. So, understanding content and how powerful it can be, and how powerful, personal branding and target audience can be, understanding all that.
That's right.
And
well, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm
brand
starving. I feel like we need to cut the podcast and go and eat some lunch.
Help you in your journey tenfold.
I just got these grumbles. I was like, can you hear the
going along with the flow and just...
Do we have a love, don't love? I mean, maybe my don't love is that I haven't had my lunch and I'm starving. Oh.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. Yeah, a dry mouth. Usually don't. I did have one, actually. Well, speaking of AI, like, obviously we love AI and what it can do and all the tools and opportunities that it's bringing, but One of my don't loves, I mean, this is so hard. This Google Gemini VO3 that's come out, it's kind of scaring me. You can't tell that the content is AI anymore, and it's moving so fast. And I said to my mum, actually, I said, Mum, don't believe anything you see on social media anymore.
No, and it's kind of like this fine line between. So it's been so incredibly helpful.
Have it,
but then there's
search for it on
like,
TikTok, VO3, Google,
Gemini's release. There's no pulling a handbrake. Like we're not. We just
the AI
is going to keep going and going and going.
And it's kind of scary to think where it's going. Yeah. We stop that? Yeah. No. Yeah.
I must admit though, I have seen like a few
it is. Yeah.
Probably Facebook
so just being aware of that and understanding that maybe everything
clearly created by
real anymore.
An AI. That you can tell straight away, even when they're the ones that like anyway. I don't know, that I've seen that that they are AI, but they've done a good job, but you're like, no, there's still something that I'm like, no, I can kind of tell. I mean, it's
so gross.
Maybe we're AI. I mean, we're not. Fuck.
But now we're not going to be able to tell. But maybe. And there's been people posting TikToks and like
up, so that's the scary part.
People in the comments are like,
up with it, that it's like,
is this real? Is this real? And they're pretending to be AI, or is this AI that looks so real? Like you can't tell anymore.
Who are the boffins that are just
I'm hoping the government
are they all sitting in this little like
just got to tag it? Otherwise you can't.
Honestly, if you think about it, like right now they're creating something that's probably going to come out in a week's time that's going to blow us all away again.
Yeah.
Where are they? Where the fuck are they? Or even a fax machine. How do you get a paper in here? I'm still in fucking fax machine days. Text messages. How do they work?
I still don't understand how Wi-Fi works. Like, how are we talking to each other right now? I don't understand it.
Fair question. Oh, good times, guys. Good times. So have you got a love then?
Like, is our picture up in the sky somewhere? Like, I don't know. It's overwhelming, but oh god.
Do you have a love, or are you just going to end on a don't
love?
But
like too smart that this is just going to ruin the world.
Okay. Right.
Scary.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair. All right. Yeah. That's fair.
Anyway,
cool.
We'll wrap it up.
I don't have. Hey?
Oh no, my love was AI, like what it's done for us already, but
it is because I'm so
on the back
hungry.
end of
but actually, my love right now currently is
scary.
My mum bought me some. I'm wearing them right now. Some linen wide leg kind of linen 7/8 pants from Suzanne's, and like I just wanted.
So does your love food?
Suzanne's. I know. I love Suzanne's. Yay! I've been buying Suzanne's. One of my best mates used to work at Suzanne's when we were in like year 12. I've been buying Suzanne clothes forever, mate. It's dress how you need to feel.
Oh, Suzanne. That's when you know you're getting old. I've got Suzanne
I have
clothes
no problem with them because you got to
you're
dress
old.
bits around it. That's how the dress how you need to feel. Is you find something key within the area and then you piece it.
They have
the
gotten better.
Stuff, or the different stuff, or the used stuff.
Yeah, they've gotten better. Or have I just gotten older? I'm like,
I just love me a linen pant, and they're navy blue. I hate black. I loathe black. It's not my jam. So they've been my love because I've worn them like most days. I'm like, probably should wash these because they're like it's either that or Lululemon. So that's my love. I'd have to say. I know it. No, so everyone's got their linen. I'm not into white linen though, because white linen will turn brown. Yeah, I know.
Like linen,
so is that like that icky, like
if you
yellow,
like linen, go to
mustard
Noosa.
kind of color? Once just had one wash.
No.
Nah, it all goes in. My mum's horrified at how I wash my clothes.
A shade of grey if it goes into my laundry.
You told me that I don't like washing. Winner.
Mum's like, you don't separate your washing.
I don't have a don't love other than I'm hungry. So we're going. Catch you later. Yeah. See you around.
Me too.
Bye.
Now I'm like, at least they're clean. Oh, God. All right. Hooroo. I'm going to end this live. Come to our free workshop if you want. It's UGC workshop.